Hey there, Dave McGrath here, Better Life Abroad coach and expert. Working abroad, many people think about it, many people imagine what it's like, but not so many people actually end up doing it. But if you're watching this video, then perhaps you're somebody who is either thinking about moving abroad and working in a foreign land, or maybe you've already moved and you're just getting used to your new situation, or maybe you're somebody who's been living abroad and working abroad for quite some time, but you're still experiencing some challenges. Before you move abroad, it stirs up a lot of different feelings. Obviously it's exciting, but if you're moving abroad and you don't actually have work lined up already, that can cause a lot of uncertainty. You don't know what your situation is going to be like. You don't know what kind of job you're going to end up in. You don't know how many jobs you're going to have to do before you get the job that you like. Or maybe you do have a job lined up and you're moving abroad, excited about this new job position, but as well there's uncertainty in that too, because you don't know the people you're going to be working with, you don't know what the office or the workspace situation is going to be like, and so there's uncertainty, which can cause a little bit of anxiety or maybe nervousness. Then there's some people who move abroad, not for work specifically, they move abroad for romance or to be with their family, or maybe they move abroad because they want to learn a language or they want to experience a new culture, or for some they just move abroad because they actually want to, re-begin their life, or they want to redefine their life. But in any case, they usually, at some point, most of these people work. And so once you get into working abroad in a foreign land, you're immediately confronted with having to come to terms with the work culture of that foreign land. And that's not always easy, it's not a walk in the park. So once you've organized the more practical things like your work visa, social security number, tax, bank account, and also where you're going to live in relation to work and transport and all those things, then you're left with coming to terms with working in a foreign country. And the first thing that comes to mind is relationships. Different cultures approach work relationships in different ways. You might arrive in your new land and everybody might be very friendly, very open, very warm, and very curious to know who you are. Or you might experience the opposite. Some cultures, people can be quite distant. And for you, this might be quite cold. You might almost feel like they're ignoring you or avoiding you. And as for anybody starting in a new job position, you spend the first couple of weeks getting to know the people, getting to understand the relationships that exist between the people who've already been working there, their personalities, the quirks of their personalities, office politics. Because obviously you want to make friends, but at the same time you don't want to seem needy or clingy, you want to appear professional. And after having worked there for some time, then you're going to expect to be able to get close to people, make some friends, and maybe even spend time with people outside of work. However, different cultures have different approaches to this. Not every culture is quick to mix their work colleagues with their social circles. So the people that you get friendly with might be quite slow to introduce you to their family or their friends or other people in their life. And this is not personal, this is just a cultural thing. But if you're working abroad and you're the only foreigner within your office or within your workspace, then these are the people that you spend all your days with, and you might find it quite lonely when you go home in the evenings. So you're actually, to some degree, dependent on these relationships for your sense of connection. In contrast, if you're not the only person working in the office, you're working there with other foreigners, you just might end up finding it easier to become friends with them, with the other expats, because they're experiencing the same thing as you, and they'll be more open and friendly to spending time with you, even socially. So apart from relationships, work culture, language, humor, and cultural references can all have an impact on how comfortable you feel at work. To give an example, you might have a colleague who has an accent which you find difficult to understand, or maybe you're at work and you're trying to give an explanation about one specific thing and you get tongue-tied and you start criticizing your language skills. Or maybe you're at work and the local workers are always late and you start criticizing the work culture. You're just confused about the way people are doing things. Maybe they're always offering to do more overtime or something like that, and you just find it frustrating and annoying. Or maybe you're at lunch with your colleagues and everybody's talking and all of a sudden everybody's laughing and you don't get it. You don't know what the joke is. Maybe the cultural reference is over your head. All of these things can cause you to feel more and more like a foreigner. And this can be very isolating and uncomfortable, and ultimately disheartening, because nobody really wants to feel like they're strange. So now you might be feeling quite alone at work. Your colleagues might be open and warm and friendly and polite towards you, but you just can't help focusing on all the things that make you different, all the things that make you stand out as being foreign. And so it can be very difficult to get things done, and work becomes more challenging and stressful. Living and working abroad in a foreign country pushes a person to really look at who they are and what they're about. It forces the foreign professional to really question who they are beyond their cultural identity. And this can be a very challenging experience because it might be something which is quite new, and it can stir up a lot of different emotions. Working abroad intensifies the living abroad experience. Basically, in your workspace, you have a mini version of the culture that you're living in. And every day when you go to work, you're experiencing examples of that culture close up. It's like a micro world that is forcing you to come to terms with the culture that you're living in. You'll be interacting with the locals more intensely and more frequently in an environment which jumps between formality and informality. So collaborating with a colleague might be exhausting, or meeting deadlines could be challenging. Voicing your opinion at meetings could be uncomfortable. Giving feedback, you might be misinterpreted. Going for promotion might feel like a waste of time or even intimidating. Or taking part in company events could be stressful. So working abroad has its challenges. And if you'd like to discuss any of the challenges that you're experiencing, please just book a consultation and we'll have a chat, and I'd like to help you in whatever way I can. I wish you all the best. Take care.